Hey guys. So we have some wild astrology going on this weekend, and it could really be like hitting us on an energetic level where we're feeling very electrified, very excited, sort of like craving spontaneity, something new, a desire to maybe be impulsive or just do something different or out of the ordinary. The Uranus fingerprints are all over everything that is playing out this weekend. We have 8 planets currently in aspect to Uranus, including the moon and Mercury and Mars, who are in a trine to Uranus right now. There could be some type of news or messages or communication that is really firing us up or motivating change somehow in our experience. We could find ourselves really coming to a point where we're ready to put our foot down, stand up for ourselves, or fight back against something in a very powerful way. There's a huge, powerful driving force for awakening, change, standing up for ourselves, taking back personal power, and asserting our right for freedom and liberation in some aspect or dimension of our experiences. This is happening on an individual level, and we're also going to see this type of thing playing out on the world stage on a macrocosm level. I will tell you guys though, whatever is playing out this weekend, things are not as they appear. There is a silver lining to everything. This energy is bringing blessings in disguise, and divine intervention, divine alignment, divine timing is all over the blueprint energetically of this weekend as well. And another beneficial thing that we have going on is Venus is being reborn in the sky as a morning star. She is donning her warrior of wisdom, feminine energy archetype, and we've got a very powerful and inspired both divine feminine and divine masculine energy coming in this weekend on the side of this Uranus energy that are also acting as a catalyst for positive change and taking back power in our lives somehow, some way. So there's a lot going on. We're in some epic astrology times right now. We are in a season of very big, unexpected, shocking, and dynamic changes. Let's get into our report of the day, you guys. Let's talk about this energy. Let's look at this energy. Let's see how things are coming together this weekend and what they might be looking like closing out our week this week and heading into what is to come next week. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, August 18th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages on this channel. We are looking at the energy as it's coming together for us on a day-to-day basis, getting a pulse for the general energetic weather report. But we are also keeping in mind the fact that we are currently in a shift of ages, that we are transitioning into the age of Aquarius, and the aspects that are happening on a day-to-day basis and the changes that they are making, within us and therefore within our lives as well, are also sort of like stepping stones that are moving us energetically towards these new Aquarian frequencies. And, as we go through them, as we learn the lessons associated with them, as we adjust to them, we also become anchors for the Aquarian age in our current reality. And that is one way that we actually assist in the shift of ages taking place and happening, as above, so below. So that's what we're doing on this channel, you guys. And we are really in the thick of things right now. We talk about our shift of ages and, this transitional process that we're in right now. And there's a large buffer period, right, between ages. It takes, several hundred years to get from, one like full immersion in one energy of one age into the next. And the way that energy is coming together now and where we are at in this process now, I'm telling you guys, over the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years, things are going to look radically different. And when we look back, we will be like, oh, then 2023 into 2024, moving in 2025, that is when the shifts really began to happen and become very palpable and tangible and noticeable in our physical reality. That is when the shift of ages sort of dropped from the 5D energetic perspective dimension of things into the 3D, and we really began to see the emergence of this new age in a very, again, more tangible, palpable way in our physical reality. These activations that are happening this summer and where we are at right now in the grander scheme of things, with all of these Uranus activations coming into play, this is the catalyst, I feel like, for what will become our recognition of a greater immersion in this new energy. Okay, so I guess really what I'm trying to say is it's happening. You know, we're really getting this ball rolling now. And we're probably going to be feeling it. Things are no longer going to remain the same. I've been saying for the past couple of years that anything in our lives, relationships, you know, careers, like living situations that are not in alignment with authenticity in the way that we are discovering it within us now are not going to maintain themselves through this energy. And this is something really ever since we had that big Uranus-Saturn square over this past couple of years, you know, this is something that has been trying to break up the like patterns of the past sort of, and the rigidity and the structure of the way that we had conducted our lives in the past, and allow us to release ourselves to a way of living that is in a much greater level of authenticity to our own truth and our own potential, that is arising, awakening, and that we are discovering within us. And that now where we're at over this next year and a half with the North Node transiting the sign of Aries will become sort of like our personal mission and our personal destiny to uncover, cultivate, and manifest essentially in our world and in our reality. We're activating destiny, you guys, over this next year and a half, and the things that are happening now, the changes that are taking place, the endings and beginnings are a fundamental part of getting us into alignment with that destiny within us, with that higher purpose within us, with that soul calling within us that needs to be answered and needs to be moved towards in some significant ways. And we're going to be talking a lot more about this over the course of the next year and a half. I feel like I talk about this a little bit every day. Every time I do one of these videos, there is some type of theme associated with the North Node now transiting the sign of Aries and the phase of growth that that is leading us towards. So if you guys have been following my videos, you know, we've been sort of like step by step, you know, talking about this energy and moving towards it. But all these changes, okay, what they're ultimately doing, I feel like, is supporting us and coming back into a place of personal power so that we can move towards this individual mission and this destiny activating energy that is hitting us on this very individual level that is being, you know, universally called forth over the course of this next year and a half. But anyways, all that being said, you know, we have 8 planets in aspect to Uranus. Uranus is the galactic fixer, okay? Uranus brings blessings in disguise. Uranus puts things right. Uranus makes the changes for us, though, that we haven't been able to make for ourselves. Uranus is the great awakener as well. But again, when Uranus energy is operating, looks can be very deceiving. And a lot of times, the way that Uranus brings the blessings is through sort of like a chaotic or confusing or uncomfortable or forceful removal from that which had been preventing us from receiving that blessing or whatever in the past, okay? So things are being fixed, things are being put right. Wherever there has been an inversion of truth or an inversion of authenticity or an inversion of integrity or an inversion of potential or an inversion of growth, this is where that distortion is going to be removed. And it's likely, though, not happening in the most like gentle and easy and comfortable ways when we have Uranus going on. So faith is a major dimension of this Uranus energy as well. And our ability to maintain a positive mental perspective in the midst of what may appear to be more negative scenarios playing out around us. So all that being said, you know, 8 planets aspecting Uranus. The only one right now that is not aspecting Uranus is Saturn. What does Saturn do? Saturn restricts things, holds things back, limits things. So and with Saturn out of the mix, there really is no limit, no suppression of this Uranus galactic fixer, great awakening, blessings in disguise energy right now. And again, like things could be getting quite like wild. This Uranus also rules the unusual and the bizarre, and people are probably acting real strange. If you find that that's the case, just let them be. Everybody's sort of going through their own thing right now. A lot of people are going through some very internalized processes of awakening. And there's a dimension of awakening to sort of like our own shadows and where we've been working against ourselves as well. So people are dealing with a lot of their own issues in this energy, and we should not place expectations on anybody right now, okay? And this expect the unexpected, hypercharged Uranus energy, setting expectations for anybody or anything could potentially be setting ourselves up for disappointment. So we want to keep that in mind as well. Now let's get into sort of the energetic rapport, okay, for how things may be playing out for us on Friday. Now again, with 8 planets in aspect to Uranus, there's really no way to call any of this. So I'm just kind of looking at some of these aspects in isolation and giving some general indications, but it's likely to be all over the place. But we do have on Friday a very prominent Moon, Mercury, Mars conjunction that is happening in the sign of Virgo. And if you guys watched my new moon report that I just put out, I was talking about how one of the Uranus aspects going on right now is a grand trine that is set up in earth signs between Pluto and Capricorn, Uranus and Taurus, and Mars and Virgo, who is joined by Mercury and the moon as well on Friday today. So a trine in earth signs between Uranus, the great awakener and the galactic fixer, Pluto, death, rebirth, transformation, and also bringing down the previous like control matrices and paradigms of the past, retrograding for the last little period of time in the sign of Capricorn before entering the sign of Aquarius for the next 20 years and giving even more power, influence, and significance to the Aquarian, Uranian frequencies and vibes. That is another thing that we have pending that is indicating the prominence and the significance of Uranus's role now and moving forward through this, essentially this next era of our experience with a 20-year Pluto Aquarius transit pending in the wings right now as well. But also, you know, with Mars, Mercury, and the moon there, also in the sign of Virgo, this is a powerful influence that is hitting on both a soul feeling emotional level and a mental level as well, bringing some type of an awakening that is, you know, pushing towards some type of deep transformation, the end of one thing, the beginning of another thing, based on some type of insight that we are gaining, conversation that we are having, something that we are learning, something that is being cleared up or fixed for us somehow as well with this galactic fixer energy. But, you know, one thing is for sure, like, it's lighting this fire under us. It's giving us motivation. It's inspiring us. It's causing us to want to be assertive also and stand up for ourselves and take some action to like put our foot down or to fight back against something or to, you know, fight for what's ours or what we believe in. With Mars and Mercury together in the sign of Virgo, this is also like just facts and information. There could be a lot of arguments, disputes, debates going on that are having some type of unexpected and transformative impact. Very much though revealing, illuminating, awakening to things in a way that inspires a motivation to create active dynamic change and to take power back. That's what we're looking at. That is one of the major pushes of this energy that is happening right now. And with Mercury and Mars and the moon together in a trine to Uranus, this is likely to be a very fast-paced, excitable, electrified energy and vibes coming through on Friday. People are probably up for an adventure, to be honest with you, and they just like having an urge to do something new or to do something different or to do something out of the ordinary, again, coming for this like inherent desire for some type of change or some type of transformation and feeling fired up and motivated to make it happen. Probably a very different weekend than usual, but of course this is coming on the heels of what was likely a very different week than we're normally accustomed to, and this just generalized feeling of like stimulation and excitability, like I said, anticipation, electricity in the air, like feeling like something is about to happen, but maybe we like can't put our finger on it exactly. When we have Uranus energy that is operating in a very strong and encumbered way, that is this dominant force like this, it really activates our spidey senses, okay? And it can make us very sensitive to the energy fields that are around us, whether it be, you know, thought fields, like fields of consciousness, or just the general energetic fields of whatever it is that we are interacting with in our environment. And this is definitely a weekend, you guys, where you want to, you know, trust your gut, intuitive hunches. If you pick up on something, if thought just randomly comes into your head, or if you get like, you know, just an intuition, a strong intuition about something, it's probably something that you should pay attention to. And we just want to be aware of that type of thing, you know, the hair on the back of your neck standing up, or just like these subtle feelings coming through, because this is definitely a more palpable energetic experience. We're just more sensitive to it. Like, we can pick up on it, and if you're feeling it, it's probably because it's an actual thing when we have this Uranus energy going. So definitely pay attention to that type of thing as well. There could also be some very unexpected news that sort of comes in, like hits you out of nowhere, but more likely it's probably unexpected, like conversations that you're having with someone, or messages that again inspire some type of an awakening or gaining insight to something, like something hitting us, the light bulb moment, that again is like inspiring us to assert ourselves, to stand up for ourselves, or to speak our mind about something. And people could definitely also be getting into it on a verbal level with Mercury and Mars coming into this conjunction together in Virgo. This is just an energy that primes us for verbal combat, okay? Like battles and wars of narratives, wars of words, again, this argumentative kind of like debate type of energy. But it's not everything. I need to say also, like, everything that is happening in the energy this weekend is very, very purposeful. So even if it seems like it is some type of more negative occurrence, I'm telling you guys, there is some type of purpose behind that that is working towards your highest good in some way, in some form, in some capacity. With this Uranus energy operating, also because of the like enhanced prominence of our ability to be influenced by the energetic fields of ourselves, also, like, you know, actually of our own energetic field and other people's energetic fields in this energy, it is very, very important to watch our thoughts and to maintain a level of mentalized self-discipline, because we don't want to be the generator of energy that could really like be bringing us down in this energy as well. Like, we don't want to be caught up on like these negative mentalized loops, or in this state of like worry or anxiety or insecurity, because we don't want to be like an amplifier, okay, of our own like low frequency energy. So we want to be very careful about where we're letting our mind go and the impact that it could be having on actually our own frequency as we move through this energy. People are probably going to be very fired up, like I said, and acting weird, acting in unusual ways. Also, this is people like finding a side of themselves or seeing a side of themselves that they didn't know they had. People awakening to their own confidence or their own courage as well. There could be a sense of like internalized strength or courage, again, like motivation or assertiveness that people are finding within themselves and acting upon in this energy. So don't be surprised if you find somebody that normally wouldn't act some type of way, acting some type of way in this energy, because it's pulling the inner warrior out of people, okay? It's awakening us, this Uranus energy, to our own internalized power, our own strength, our own motivation, our own assertiveness to take some action, to do something positive for ourselves in some way or another, okay? So this is something, a major part of the energy that's playing out on Friday, and stronger than usual emphasis also could be going on in terms of freedom, authenticity, and truth. In my new moon video, I was talking about how I felt there would be a strong masculine presence, masculine energy that was coming online throughout the course of this next couple of months, the rest of the summer, and used as a medium of this Uranus energy to really begin fixing things and putting things right, especially things that had gotten vastly out of alignment with their natural and organic process of growth and expansion, which is crucial in order to move us forward and consciously evolve us in such a way so that we can move towards this age of Aquarius. Anywhere that process was being stifled or distorted or inverted or held back for the purpose of maintaining the stranglehold of the previous age, era, and energy to prevent humanity from going through this great awakening and this process of conscious expansion, well, that is really being remedied in this energy. And there is a force, a universal force, a benefic force for good being demonstrated through the masculine energy that I feel like is going to be, again, fired up to take control, and I feel like it's really being activated now, and we're going to see it play out throughout the course of the rest of the summer. Now, again, you know, masculine energy, divine masculine energy, like this is not specifically referring to men, although I do feel like there will be some very positive, beneficial, powerful masculine figures that come to a prominence right now in alignment with these very, you know, themes, but that is also speaking to, you know, the divine masculine and the feminine as well, and women also like no longer being willing. I mean, it's so interesting. It's because it's the polarity of the masculine and feminine right now, where we also have the north node of the moon transiting through Aries and the south node of the moon transiting through Libra. Like masculine or feminine, the impact that this is going to have is to make us define ourselves less by the group and define ourselves more in terms of our individual potential. Okay, so even in terms of women, this is going to have us less reliant upon, you know, what other people think or what other people say or what we need to do so other people like us and stuff like that. And it's going to make us much more just geared on, you know, what do I need to do to be the best person that I can be? Like, what is in my personal best interest? Like, no longer sacrificing our own personal identity, our own personal needs in order to maintain some type of group peace or cohesion. So there is this collective, individualized power that is seeking to gain a greater prominence within all of us throughout this period of time. And again, it's because we all have this individual mission and destiny that we need to accomplish over the next year and a half as we play our individual roles in anchoring this new frequency, moving us forward into the age of Aquarius, which, like I said, to start this report, we are really in the thick of that process now, and these aspects are really very much so indicating it. Again, Moon, Mercury, Mars in the sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury, right? And Mars in Virgo, this is also about martial arts, okay? And this is about also, I feel like, the divine warrior in a lot of ways. We have Mars transiting the sign of Virgo, in the trine to Uranus, in the trine to Pluto, powerful words facilitating awakening and deep transformation that is cutting us free from the past and moving us towards the truth of our potential. It's hitting on the soul level with the moon there as well, and it is motivating action to fight for and to create sudden dynamic change that removes the chains that have been binding us from, you know, the truth of our heart, also with all of this Leo energy that is going on right now. Now, that's another dimension of things that I have not mentioned yet in this report. Not only do we have all this Uranus energy playing out, which is the primary frequency that we have going on this summer, especially also as we're heading towards this retrograde season that is going to be fixing things and rearranging things as well. Well, we also currently have the sun in a conjunction with the black moon, and this was also a very significant part of our new moon that we had playing out. The black moon, this is the shadow side, and the sun, this is the shadow and the sun in alignment, okay? Awakening us with Uranus there in the square to the darkness of our own heart, okay? Where have we betrayed ourselves? Where have we sacrificed loyalty to ourselves in order to receive some type of recognition or love or attention or reward or power or money or prominence or, you know, reputation or something along those lines? Like, really, the sun in Leo in a conjunction to the black moon and square to Uranus, where have we like darkened our own heart without even maybe knowing it, in order to these Leo themes feel loved, feel adored, feel seen, you know, feel like, or gain some type of attention or notoriety, wealth, power, hierarchy, status? Where have we betrayed ourselves in order to have those things, those material things, those superficial things? And what has the impact of that been on our heart? What relationships are we in now? What circumstance, what world have we built for ourselves on that faulty foundation that now anything that is no longer in alignment with the truth that is emerging within us now needs to crumble and fall away in this time of sudden change and sudden endings and beginnings? Every piece of the puzzle is on the table for us to get in alignment with our higher selves, you know? That's what this is ultimately helping us to do, it's helping us to heal old wounds. It's helping us to face childhood trauma that maybe we've forgotten, you know, maybe we don't even have a conscious awareness of, but nonetheless has played this powerful role in our lives and experiences as a result of the subconscious programming that it's created, and the karmic loops that we've been in as a result, as universe consistently tries to bring us up against, you know, our own vibration, so that we can finally gain an awareness of those shadow side issues and what we need to do to heal, release, and to overcome, right? And to move on. This is also a period of time right now that is calling for us to step into a sense of self-mastery. And over this next year and a half, with the North Node Chiron alignment also coming into fruition, that's also going to happen. I cannot talk today, you guys. My mind is like running really quickly, and it's causing me to like slur my words together because they want to just like merge and not be their own separate words so that I can get them out faster. So I'm sorry I keep like running words together and having to go back and separate them. I'm having a very hard time getting the language out in a coherent way today. But that's where all of this is moving us towards. Our mission over this next year and a half, starting now, is to conquer self, is to come into this plate of self-mastery, to conquer the battles that we wage in our own mind against our own selves that keep us blind to our own purpose, keep us blind to our own potential, keep us blind to our own truth, keep us captive to these situations where we're surrendering power or we're sabotaging ourselves in order to gain something external or something superficial or something material. This is an era of taking back personal power and using it to restore harmony and to remove blockages to the cultivation of that personal destiny and of that personal potential that is waiting to be activated, and that universe is calling us to activate in order to do our part in becoming an anchor for this new frequency as we transition ages into the age of Aquarius, and we enter the period that is acting as a catalyst for a cosmic reconstruction that is taking what has been inverted, removing the distortion, and putting us back on a proper path to true conscious evolution and expansion in alignment with universal truth moving forward, as we actually come back online in a lot of ways and begin to gain a greater ability to receive the emanations from the galactic center that help to restore the Christ consciousness as well within the energy body of humanity. This is the Great Awakening. We also have Venus retrograde, like I've been talking about, in Leo, in a tight square to Jupiter right now as well. As we move from Friday into Saturday, Sunday, and to start our week next week, Monday, the Venus energies are actually, aside from the Uranus situations that we have going on, going to become also like a very powerful and dominant force in our energetic field, and things to do with money and relationships, of course, but where perhaps our loyalties have also been betrayed by others, as we gain this greater understanding and maybe some insight as well into some element of the past. Venus retrograde is gonna be bringing up a lot of things that have happened in the past, relationships, people, partnerships, situations, what we've loved before, you know, what we've wanted before in the context of who we're becoming now and what it is that we want now, gaining greater insight, right, into our own internal nature, what it is that we truly want, what it is that we truly desire. If we take the layer of everyone else out of it, what is left? Okay, that is, I feel like, also one of the major themes and lessons that this particular Venus retrograde cycle is bringing us. What do we really need for our heart to feel fulfilled, removed from the needs and the desires and whatever's necessary to keep the peace in the group? Okay, this could also, though, this Jupiter Venus retrograde energy could really also be bringing some healing through whatever wisdom or understanding, greater like experience, also wisdom through experience that we've gained, being able to shed light on something. This is a very much a light bulb moment type of weekend that we have playing out as well. And of course, it's like everything that we are figuring out or coming to understand or see in this energy is acting as a catalyst for these sudden unexpected changes that are probably going on as well. But Jupiter and Venus, this is whenever we have Jupiter and Venus in aspect together, it also has a tendency of bringing some general pleasantries. I do feel like there's a positive, we're probably going to feel pretty good in the energy this weekend. Pretty optimistic about things, even though there's this definite air of, you know, shock or unexpected or a need to make some type of drastic or radical change. There's a positive quality, okay, to whatever is playing out. Now, moving into Saturday, like I said, these Venus vibes are really going to sort of like pick up some energetic significance. And this is because the moon will be entering the sign of Libra, which is of course ruled by Venus. Venus will move that much closer in her square to Jupiter. And also, you know, Saturday, Sunday into Monday, Venus is going to become visible in the sky again. She's going to become reborn as a morning star. You'll be able to see her very early in the morning, shining very brightly in the sky. And this is definitely a more benefic phase than Venus has been in throughout this past couple of weeks. And it is re-inspiring the feminine warrior archetype to gain a greater significance moving through the rest of the summer into the fall as well. So not only do we have the Mars energy that is acting as a catalyst and a motivation, the spiritual warrior for change right now, but now we also have the warrior of wisdom feminine archetype, the Pallas Athena Venus archetype, which is represented by her placement as a morning star, being the dominant energy that is coming through the divine feminine frequencies being emanated right now. So this weekend, with the rebirth of Venus coming through, while she is an exact square to Jupiter, this is hugely expanding her influence. And also we've got the Libra moon going on, which is expanding the Venusian influence as well. We have this supercharged divine feminine energy that is going to be coming through on the side of this divine masculine energy, which is also very powerful and supercharged catalyst and force for awakening and change, with the grand trine with Pluto and Uranus and the moon and Mercury there on Friday as well. So, you know, this is energy coming through, inspiring us to take action, to create change, to free ourselves from any type of servitude, all right, that is not serving us in return. South node right now in the sign of Libra as well. It's interesting because we're going to have one of the, you know, as Venus emerges as the morning star in the exact square to Jupiter, the moon will also be on Monday forming a conjunction to the South node, which, like I just got done saying, anything that is not reciprocal, anywhere where there is not an equal give and take, that is what we are detaching from. That is what we are moving on from. That is what we are done over with, like moving forward, closure, tying up loose ends, unfinished business being resolved. I feel like this is the energy that we are moving towards Saturday into Sunday and heading into next week also. I do think another consequence of this will be a release from social conditioning or social conformity or some type of mind control via some type of groupthink or need to keep the peace that may have been really playing a significant role in controlling our actions in the past. We're not doing that anymore. And with this Uranus energy coming through, this is time to make new friends and new connections, you guys, based on who we are becoming now and who we are discovering ourselves to be now, rather than focusing on who we've been and who we were aligned with and united with when we were blind to our own personal truth. This is also, I feel like, in a lot of ways, awakening the sleeping giant within humanity, putting us back into alignment with the truth of our heart, lighting that fire within us, and we are ready to stand up and fight for what we believe in. Like I said, both divine masculine and divine feminine, honing their spiritual warrior for the good of all gear. And it's going to be some interesting times moving forward, you guys, through the rest of the summer and the rest of this year. Sunday, we have some things happening additionally. Now, there's an energy building Sunday that we're really going to need to talk about and take into consideration as we move into the energy of next week. That is Mars now in the sign of Virgo building into an opposition with Neptune. I've been talking about this, and this is likely to lower energy levels to some extent. We may feel like we are living in some type of fantasy land or some type of personal delusion as well. There could definitely be sort of like a breakdown in the levels of self-confidence that we've been feeling over this past week and, you know, moving through this weekend as we move into the energy of next week. And we need to remember, you know, who we are, what we stand for, and not allow ourselves to be swayed or manipulated as this Neptune energy comes in moving into next week. But we have on Sunday, you know, we we do have Mars approaching this opposition to Neptune, but we also have the Sun and the North Node in exact trine. This is also exact, it's Saturday into Sunday where this energy is exact, and this is divine alignment. This is the hand of God in action. This is things falling into proper order in a way that is facilitating universe's plan right now. So we have divine intervention, okay? We have divine timing, like things are happening for a reason. Again, everything right now is very purposeful. We also have a Mercury-Uranus trine that is ongoing, so there could be definitely some surprising news that is coming through. And again, this Venus squared Jupiter energy with the Libra moon and Venus emerging from the underworld, becoming visible as a morning star, bringing healing, bringing solutions, something divinely inspired and divinely aligned about the energy Sunday, inspiration, hope, reinvigorating us. But again, with the Mars and Neptune opposition that is approaching, there could be an aspect of us really questioning maybe our motives or our strength or our courage, our abilities moving into the energy of next week. So we really want to ground ourselves in the personal truths that we're coming to now this weekend so that we are not susceptible to being sort of like swayed out of our stance as the Neptune energy comes through. Neptune breaks things down, it erodes things. So any, this strength, this determination, this assertiveness, this motivation, this will that may be inspiring us in this energy right now could be sort of just eroded a little bit, okay, moving through the energy next week. We do want to take it easy also as we move towards the energy next week. Now, as you might be watching this report, energy could be very high. You could be feeling very, very hyper-stimulated, very energized, and inability to sleep, just sort of like really picking up on the sense of electricity in the air. But I'm telling you guys, we do want to take it easy. We do not want to burn ourselves out. We do not want to let ourselves get like frazzled and fried and just like way overrun ourselves in this energy, because it could break down like just vitality. It could have us feeling real low in the energy next week if we're not careful about taking care of our energy and the energy this week. Also, with Mars in the opposition to Neptune, this could bring some very strong storms, like hurricane type storms, water issue type storms, thunderstorms, also like electric lightning storms and stuff like that, but specifically hurricanes I feel like could come with this energy. That also could be very unexpected and really disrupt travel suddenly, also with Mercury and Uranus coming into the trine moving into next week. But this energy, Mars and Neptune in opposition, the benefit of this energy is it should put fires out. You know how I was saying, we may find ourselves feeling less motivated, or maybe like we were like sort of on one to kind of maybe a delusional level in the previous couple days, or just kind of, bringing us down. Well, in terms of places where there's just too much heat, or, the whole Hawaii situation and everything, I do feel like this Mars-Neptune situation will put an end to that, thank God. And it should just bring down levels of heat and fire and burning, anything associated with that as well. So prayers for that, the positive side of things, but we don't want to run ourselves down. We don't want to get ourselves like too spun out of control, okay? Because again, like this could be the week where this whole month is kind of catching up to you, and we just don't want to make big plans. We want to kind of just give ourselves a break and allow ourselves also to process everything that has gone on. So actively engaging in like meditation, rest, relaxation, also with Mars in the sign of Virgo, like yoga, or things like more slower, more martial art, like Tai Chi and stuff like that could be really, really good in this energy. Stretching, just walking, taking, keeping ourselves flexible and stuff like that as well, and just kind of staying grounded. These are taking good care of our body, being on top of supplements, nutrition, eating well, like that is really going to help in this Mars-Neptune opposition moving into next week. And the last thing I want to say, you guys, about the energy for this weekend, I just want to read one Sabian symbol this weekend, the energy, this placement of the sun on Friday the 18th. That Sabian symbol is after a heavy storm, a rainbow appears, okay? And I feel like that is what we need to keep in mind throughout the course of the weekend. A lot of times the Uranus energy can be very synonymous with sudden storms just hitting us out of nowhere, but we need to remember whatever storms are hitting, there is a cleansing, and there is a purpose, and there is a beautiful rainbow that they are bringing in their aftermath. So we need to not lose faith. We need to not lose hope. We need to maintain our faith in a higher perspective, in a higher plan, and we need to, you know, move forward with the knowledge that everything is currently working for us, okay, according to our highest good, and that is the truth. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. Oh God, that felt so jumbled and all over the place coming out of my mouth. Usually they don't feel like that, so I hope that was somewhat coherent and it wasn't just like a jumbled mess of words that were all trying to come out at the same time and didn't work. I don't know, but let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, Spirit, Universe, what's a piece of advice that we can use to go through this weekend in the midst of all this energy? What do we need to know? What can benefit us? Tell me what we need to hear right now. There it is. Exactly. Obstructions removed, you guys. This is one of my favorite cards, and this is what is happening. This is what I've been saying this whole time. The galactic fixer is at work. Things are being put back on proper track. Anything that has been out of alignment is in the process of being renovated right now, and obstructions are being removed. We need to keep this in mind. Despite appearances, rest in me, I have gone ahead and removed every stone. God has gone before you and removed every obstacle. Any obstacle you now perceive is a product of your own imagination. Let go and let God lead you. There is no wrong action. There is only right action. Follow the leads which come to you. Trust your spidey senses in this energy. I cannot stress enough, you guys, humanity is becoming a more psychic species, okay? As we move towards the age of Aquarius, that is going to be a fundamental component of the physical manifestation, okay, of the conscious evolution of humanity. You know, they always say humanity only uses like a small portion of our brains, and as we go through this process, as we exit this previous paradigm, as we come to a point where we are actually able to receive stronger emissions from the galactic center as well, which is also a driving force behind this transition of ages. The sixth sense, you know, these latent psychic abilities of humanity are going to begin to come online in unexpected ways as well, and you are likely, especially if you're naturally sensitive, which if you are entertaining this level of knowledge and awareness at this point in time, I'm sure that you are. This is the time, you guys, to begin, you know, really cultivating these feelings, these sensations, these extrasensory experiences that may be becoming more prominent and dominant in our experiences as we become more sensitive to the energetic fields around us. And it's actually because our vagus nervous system is being more activated as well and being more sensitized to be able to pick up on this subtle energies around us in a more I guess, noticeable way. I'm having a really hard time finding words today, you guys. So I should probably stop talking now. But anyways, you know, this is where we're going. This is what we have going on. Obstructions removed. Things are moving in the right direction, and we are just in epic times. And I promise you guys, this is all moving in a good direction, but there is just a lot of rectification of the past, especially in terms of our understanding of reality, that needs to be recalibrated right now. And luckily, we have Uranus to do that job and play that role. So that's what I'm going to say today, you guys. Obstructions removed. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think they would like this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I am so grateful for you guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly appreciate and value your feedback. What's going on with you? If you have experiences that are lining up with what I'm talking about, please let me know in my comment section below, because like I said, that is valuable information to me, and I'm very grateful for your presence on this channel and in my life. Thank you guys so much for being here. here. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, Instagram, and some other social medias in my description box below. If you want to know what it says on this whiteboard, I post these whiteboard pictures of them in my Facebook group. So that is where you can find that. Again, the link is in my description box below. And come back with me on Monday, you guys. Like I said, at the end of this report on Monday, we're going to be getting into some more of this Venus energy. We're going to have a South Node Moon conjunction when Venus is in the square to Jupiter. So this is going to be another day and another week where we are really removing ourselves and detaching ourselves from things that are just things and people, okay, that aren't good for us anymore. And again, we do have this Mars-Neptune opposition that is going to be characterizing next week as well. So we want to make plans to take it easy, all right? And so, okay, that's what I'm going to say. I will see you on Monday. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. And until next time, bye.